Good morning. Thanks for joining me at Coffee with Kory. Well, if you've been with me on social media this week, you know we had a few celebrations. Jossie and I celebrated our 23rd wedding anniversary. A couple days later, Grace Majeski Gall celebrated her 23rd birthday. And that may not seem, if you don't know our family history, that may not seem like a big deal. Oh, okay, wait a minute. Okay, so Grace was born 2 days after Jossie and Kory were married. Well, what you may not know is that Grace's dad, Steve, was the best man at Jossie and my wedding. So all those many years ago, as we're heading down that path towards the wedding, it's like, Grace is, she's gonna be born right in that time frame. We hope it all turns out. And it did. So then when Grace and Brandon were married back in September, they asked me to say a few words at their wedding reception. And when I did, I had to make sure that in front of all of their guests, I got an opportunity to publicly thank Grace for holding off a couple days to be born, so that Jossie and I didn't have to deal with that little curveball at our wedding. And so that was kind of a fun full circle moment for me. And so by the time Grace was born, Jossie and I were safely on our honeymoon and having the time of our lives, and got to meet Grace a few days later when we got home. So this time of year, I always love kind of reliving those memories. I thought I'd share them with you. I need to go into the impactful item that for this week. It kind of goes down a few different paths here, so bear with me if you can. But it kind of started with a friend of mine lost his dad this week, and he made a post on social media, a tribute to his father, and mentioned a handful of things that his dad taught him, and some really good things about life, which were touching. And but the one that really stuck out to me was, he said that Dad taught me how to drive a tractor before I could drive a car. and if that's not rural South Dakota, I don't know what is. But it was touching to know how much my friend's dad had been a part of his life growing up. And of course, then that takes me down the path of my own dad, and thinking about a lot of those memories and a lot of those things that Dad taught me growing up, and the times that I look back on and smile about. There's a song that my friend Darren turned me on to here a while back by Luke Combs, called "Remember Him That Way." And there's a line in that song that says, "I remember him 10 foot tall and bulletproof, throw me a ball in cowboy boots." Well, Dad wasn't always, he wasn't wearing cowboy boots, but when he would come home from work, a lot of times I'd be out in the yard with my glove and my ball, and just throwing the ball up and catching it and whatnot. And Dad would come home with his work boots on after working all day, and he'd generally always throw a few to me, and I'll always remember him just rearing back and throwing the ball as high in the air as he could, so that I could get some practice catching pop flies. And you remember those little things like that, that was meaningful for me. I also, one of the other things I wanted to relay is I'd go with my dad often. Anytime he was going someplace and I could go along, I was all in. And it didn't matter whether I was going down to the post office with him to get the mail, or whether it was going hunting, or sometimes he'd be able to take me on jobs with him, and that was always kind of fun too. And there was one time in particular where I was on a job with him. He's an electrician, and he was walking from one place to another at this job site. It was quite I don't know, whatever, it was a couple hundred yards or whatever. And Dad always walked really fast. And I remember looking at him, I'm like, "Dad, why are you walking so fast?" He looks at me, he goes, "Son, these people are paying me by the hour. We can't be dilly-dallying around. We have to be prompt in everything that we're doing." And that stuck with me. And so just one of those good little life lessons. And so that I wanted to make sure I relayed that one to you. one last thing, and it kind of ties back into one of my buddies, Chad, sent me a little clip here, I don't know, it's been a month or so ago, talking about the difference between motivation and determination. And I looked at that and I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Well, there's motivation. It had like some high peaks on the chart, and then some flat parts, and then some more high peaks, and then the determination was just same peak day after day after day, and just kind of that whole grinding away on a daily basis and being determined to reach a goal. And I'm pretty sure Chad sent that to me because that's something I preach a lot. If you've been having coffee with us for a while, you know that I talk about consistency, and that the determination part is kind of along those same lines. And as I reflected on that this week as well, I'm like, you know what? I think dear old Dad had a little bit to do with me being as determined as I am, because when that guy starts on a project or sets his mind to do something, you can bet it's going to get done. And so thanks for teaching me determination as well, Dad. I appreciate you for that. So I thought it would be kind of nice if as you tune in for coffee with me here this morning, if you want to post any of those life lessons or fun memories with your dad. I know I would get a kick out of reading those, because dads they're an important part of our lives, and they shape the people that we are. So I wanted to give you a shout out this week, Dad. I appreciate everything you've done for me. So thanks for all of you joining me on Coffee with Kory, and I hope to see you again next week.